Okay, so from my January TBR, the first book that I'm reading is The Wrong Family. And this is by Tarryn Fisher, who also wrote The Wives. And honestly, I do not know a whole lot about this book, but I enjoy The Wives so much that I was like, I'm gonna read it, whatever. It just came out like 2 days ago, I think. I think it came out on the 1st or the 31st, something like that. But apparently this lady this older lady moves in with this couple. I'm sorry, my little bookmark is like slapping around here. The little butterfly and stuff. It's so pretty. But this older lady, and she's like a psychologist or psychiatrist or something. She moves in with this family and she thinks that it's one thing, and it apparently turns out to be like a whole nother situation going on. And like the first line on the back says, Juno was wrong about Wendy Crouch. Like it says, have you ever been wrong about somebody? I don't know. So far, it's so good. I've started reading it. I'm enjoying it so far. I don't know all the details on it because I kind of wanted to go into this without having like, sometimes I like to read books without knowing what the synopsis is going to be. Like, I just want to go in and be like, oh my God, I didn't know this was about to happen. So that's what I did on this one. So I don't have a whole lot to tell you about this one just yet. Probably at the end of the month when I do my recap, I'll tell you everything. But for right now, I like Tarryn Fisher. I think she's a dope writer, so I chose her. So that's my first one. I am in the middle of reading this one. I'm also in the middle of reading When Women Pray by T.D. Jakes. And I just started a book club. If you want to join in on the book club, we're reading this one for January, but then next month it's going to be, you know, whatever. It's not going to be all Christian books. It's not going to be all about women. It's going to be, you know, anything, any and everything. So right now we're reading When Women Pray, 10 Women of the Bible Who Changed the World Through Prayer. And I'm enjoying it so far. We're going to talk about chapters 1 and 2 this week, which is Hannah and Mary. That's what I thought. Hannah and Mary. I am not as far as I should be in this because I am reading this. I am reading The Wives and this and The Great Alone, which I'll talk about in a second. So I'm reading 3 books at one time. I know it's terrible, but I'm listening to the audiobook of The Great Alone, and I'm reading this and these 2, the paperbacks. And I have 2 kids and a husband, and so I'm a little behind, but I will get caught up. So if you want to join in with us on this one, please do. Like I said, it's T.D. Jakes, When Women Pray. Yeah, so check it out. Let me know. Put in the comments if you want to join, or if you read this or any of the books that I've already talked about and you've enjoyed them. Let's talk about it in the comments. All right, so that's my second book, The Great Alone. I'm reading audiobook, and I'm about halfway through that one. And essentially this man, he moves his wife and his daughter to Alaska. Now this takes place, this is not current. He was in the Vietnam War, and he has a lot of issues mental issues he came back with from the war. And he's just, you know, he's abusive, he's an alcoholic, and he can never really find his footing anywhere. So he's just like floating, and he's taking his wife and his daughter to all these different situations that are horrible. And it's like they get situated one place and he's ready to move somewhere else. And it's because he has a lot of issues. And his wife's parents are just like, you know, you left here, I think she's like 16 or 17. You just left, and then you come back when you need money, and you just need to stay here. And they're like, just stay here with us. And she's like, oh, but I love him. I love him. And I hate it because I hear that so much with the people that are in abusive situations. It's like they know that they should leave, but it's like they cannot just get their mind wrapped around, I should leave. Or they're like, oh, he's going to be worse off if I leave, or he didn't mean to hit me, or he didn't do this. And it's like, sis, he's going to kill you. Here is the tea, sis. He going to kill you if you don't leave. And so I'm about halfway through, like I said, and I'm at the part in the book where they're in Alaska now, and she's isolated from all of her family and all of her friends. And this is not modern day, so they don't have all the amenities that we have. So they were living in a house with food and water and running water, electricity. And now they're in the middle of nowhere in Alaska in a cabin, and they have to use the outhouse. I mean, who is purposely gonna move there? I mean, I'm not gonna say that because some people will, but I would not want to leave all these amenities and then go live in a cabin and have to use an outhouse in Alaska. And they're talking about how he just, you know, he inherited land from somebody that he served in the war with, and he didn't know anything about farming. He didn't know anything about, you know, preparing for an Alaskan winter, and so these people are trying to help them. And when they realize that he has been abusing her, you know, it's a whole nother story now. He done put the woman in the hospital. She tried to leave him, and they ended up getting in an accident because of the snow and stuff. So she breaks her arm. He done already beat her down, so her face is already messed up. And I'll to be honest on this one, I'm sorry, this is by, who is this by? Kristen Hanna. This is by Kristen Hanna. And I kept putting it off because when somebody in a group that I'm in on Facebook was like, oh, this is so good. And the writing is so good when they're describing Alaska, and it's so beautiful and so, and I was like, I don't really want to read a book that they just talking about Alaska, and I kept putting it off. And I was like, oh, my little library thing is going to expire, so let me just try it. And if I like it, I'll keep going. If not, and when it expires, it's whatever. But it's the writing, I will say, it's really, really good. And I don't know, you know, he done beat her down about 3 times in this book, and I'm not loving that part, but I'm hoping that she will come to her senses. And her daughter is like, Mom, like, we need to leave because he really is going to kill you. Like, he don't care. And he does the normal thing. He'll come back and say, oh, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. I didn't mean to. But then she'll do one thing, and here you come again with those fists. Come on. So yeah, again, at the end of the month, I'll tell you about the end of it and see if I like it or whatnot. All right, so my other TBR is for Church Girls 2 by Sheridan. I hope I'm saying this right. Sheridan Davis. I'm sorry, Sheridan. I read Church Girls 1. The author of the book is in a Facebook group that I'm in. And she's talking about they did this book, the first book, for a book club like last year sometime. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is really good. And she came back, she was like, you guys, you know, there's a book 2, book 3, and book 4. And, you know, check it out. So I'm on book 2. And basically you're following it's a group of friends that are more like sisters, and you know, their parents some of the parents are pastors. One of the friends, her husband is a pastor, and it's just like all of the different things that pastors and first ladies deal with in Black churches. And it's a lot of drama. It's a lot of, I can't believe you did this. Here's the tea. It's a good book. It's a good series. So if you're looking for something, if you're into that kind, I mean, it's a Black author, so that's my check off of that for January. I think you'll enjoy it. Read book 1 first, because book 2, you definitely need, it's going to start you like, and you're like, what? Who are these people? What's going on? What happened? What is going on? Read book 1 first. Church Girls 1, I guess it is. And then Church Girls 2, which is what I'm on right now. I'm reading that via ebook, so I don't have a hard copy with me. So check it out. Okay, so I'm going to be reading Lore by Alexandra Bracken. And this book is not out yet. It comes out January 5th. So as I am recording this, it's not out yet. But this is a fantasy, so check off for that. And so one of the little spills that's on the book that caught my attention, I'll just read it real quick. It says, every 7 years, the Aegon begins. As punishment for past rebellion, 9 Greek gods are forced to walk the earth as mortals, hunted by the descendants of ancient bloodlines, all eager to kill a god and seize their divine power and immortality. Now, I don't read a lot of fantasy, so this kind of was like, everybody's talking about, you got to read Lore when it comes out. You got to read it. Some people have already got, like, some of the booktubers that are, you know, have these, I don't know what it's called, but the people are sending the books early. I don't have that yet, so I haven't seen it, but everybody's like, it's really, really good. I think it's the YA fantasy. I'm not sure if it's an adult fantasy, but I'm going to take a step out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to get Lore this week when it drops, when it gets in the stores or whatever. And I'm going to just, you know, I don't know a whole lot about the book, but I'm thinking that I'm going to like it. So apparently this girl is going to team up with Athena, I believe, and try to kill one of the gods to avenge her family. So I think it's going to be good. I'm not going to give a whole lot because I don't want to tell wrong information since I have not read it. I don't want to be like, oh, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. Here's the tea. Here's the tea. And it's like completely incorrect information. So lore has been like all over my Instagram, my YouTube. It was like, y'all got to read it. It's coming out. Alexandra Bracken. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. So Alexandra, I'm sorry, Bracken, Alexandra. So I'm going to check that out this month. Okay, so the next book that I'm going to read is The Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. I'm a huge Lisa Jewell fan, actually. And one thing about me, if I find an author that I really like I will legit read all of their books at one time. And so when I heard about this one coming out, I was like, oh, definitely, you know, I'm going to get this, but I got to read it. I got to read it. So apparently this girl is under, I have my phone here. I don't want to tell you wrong information. A girl spends 3 years under psychiatrist or psychologist care. I think it is psychologist's care. And she kind of is maybe slightly obsessed with him, and she's trying to find out all this information that she can. So she's watching him and just like, it's a thriller. So she's just kind of obsessed with him and his wife and his family and his neighborhood. And he doesn't know, you know, I don't believe that he knows that she's just like stalking him almost. And so it's called The Invisible Girl. I'm going to check it out. I'm not going to give any tea on this one because I have not read it yet. And for Lisa Jewell books, I don't even need like a whole lot of information on her books because I already know I'm going to read it and I already know that I'm going to love it because she's an exceptional writer and I just love her. So that's on the list for this month. And I have also From Blood and Ash, which is another fantasy. And then I have The Henna Artist. So I'm trying to decide which one of those I'm going to read since I've already got one fantasy. I think I'm going to leave From Blood and Ash, which is by Jennifer Armentrout. I think I might leave that for February and possibly do The Henna Artist this month. And this is about, I believe it's in Japan, China or Japan. I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. But this girl becomes like this amazing henna artist, and she's sought after and she's well sought after. And she basically kind of, you know, becomes a part of high society, and she's finding all these information about these women that she's been the henna artist for. And it's just a lot of things revolving around that I'm not very familiar with. And so this book is appealing to me because I don't know a lot about, you know, that whole henna artist thing from America. You know, all I know about, if you want henna, you just go find somebody to do some henna on you. But in other cultures, of course, it's like, you know, a big, big thing. So that book is kind of calling me a little bit more than From Blood and Ash, since I've already got lore for fantasy. So I think I might do that one. So anyway, next video will be with London. So we'll post something. She's going to be talking about the book that she read this week and give me some information. So I hope you'll come back and enjoy that one as well. Thank you for watching my video. I know this one got a little bit long, but thanks for hanging out. If you stuck around, leave a comment in the comment section, like, subscribe, share the video. You know, let's talk about it. If you have some other books, like I said, if you have something that you want me to read and you think it'll be really good, I will read it. Just let me know. If you've read any of the books that I've talked about today, let me know what you thought about them. Follow me on my Instagram, Twitter. All that information is listed in the description box below. And I hope that I will see you again next week. We'll probably be putting up videos twice a week. One with London, one with me. Maybe, you know, we'll put something in there extra every now and then. So that's it. Love you guys. Deuces. And that's the tea on that.